Hello! That's really only going to make sense as an introduction if you watched them in sequence and you saw the last one just before you watched this one. But unfortunately, that's not the way most people are watching it. They're watching them when they're published daily. So there you go. Maybe wait a bit, catch up on the playlists, and then some of these connecting intro-outro sequence pairs will make more sense to you. It's just a suggestion. It's just a suggestion. You don't have to do it that way. You can do it however you like. You know, I'm not going to complain. If you're watching, why would I complain? Makes no sense, does it? Anyway, after another blisteringly excellent YouTube intro, let's get back into the game and see what's happening. I think they've dug out my magma/lava tunnel all the way through to its... Oh no, there's still a couple more spots left. We're not going to just bring all of this magma through just yet. I'm having a moment's panic. What I am going to do is I'm going to set the what are we calling this? A moat. We're going to set the moat as a sand collecting area because it annoys me that we're going to lose all that sand, even though there's buttloads of sand around. What I really want is to just get all the stuff out of this moat because, you know, meh. I mean, maybe we could set it to dump and they'll just chuck everything, get it out of there and chuck it in the volcano. That might make sense, actually, rather than collecting it, because if we wait for them to actually collect it, we have to assign people with sand collecting labours and... Oh, fuck that, let's just dump it. So, what is it? Designate, B, and then dump. D, there we go. Oh, God, area dumping. What a time saver. God, I don't know why I use this so rarely. Here we go, right, let's dump all that jazz. There we go, then we jump all this jazz. Jump it all? Dump it all. And then we come across here. A crong? I'm making weird words up now. This is not a good sign. There we go, that's all dumped. It doesn't dump the sand, it just dumps the wood and the stone. Disappointing. Disappointing. Ooh, I wonder when the magma comes in, if the sand walls will turn to glass. That could be interesting. It's probably more likely that they'll bloody well just turn into something else. You know what? Can I be bothered to clear out all these rocks? Yeah, I can. They're going to be annoying. Let's just see if it works. See if this dumping strategy works. Ooh, dumping strategy. Squeeze and pinch. That's my dumping strategy. Why did I say that? That's awful. I'm a terrible person. Okay, there we go. That's that all being dug out, or dumped rather. So we go back to the fortress, see what happens here. Idlers have shot to 0, and they're all heading down, presumably, into the moat to dig everything out by the sole ramp that we have left to get out by. Lovely. Lovely. I'm quite pleased with the synergy of the ramp, sorry, not the ramp, the moat and the wall, because that means that now anybody coming to attack us is now presented with a 2-high wall rather than a 1-high wall. Maybe I should put like a floor segment sticking out over the edge so they can't climb up it. That might be interesting. We could just put like a floor area around the outside that covers like 1 square in, 1 square out. And then maybe if we put some kind of way to get up there, we can make a sort of, what are they called, a fortification around the top. And then have people standing on the platform, maybe train up some Mark's dwarves. Well, Arando, sorry, just glancing over at chat there. I like the sound of that though, that hack thing. I don't know why, I've ignored it. It never really caught my eye, but I'll give it a crack, see what it looks like. Excuse me, guzzling coffee down there. Oh, a masterwork of Bembal Lycosazir has been lost. Oh, those monkeys nicking stuff again. Why do the monkeys have to be so bloody steely? Let's set up another hotkey while we're here. I'm going to scroll down to the industrial area. In fact, no, this area. Shit, what is it? Capital H, F2, zoom here, name, let's call it tavern, even though there's no tavern there yet. But there will be. There will be. There we go, let's keep scrolling down. Actually go down the staircase though, that would make sense. What? There we go. And now we go to the industrial zone. I'll pop it about there, that seems good. Shift H, F3, zoom, name, industry. Bosh, there we go. Industry. Sorry, getting a little bit weird there. So, back up to the top. Yep. Yeah, look at that, things are going to be a bit quicker. Let's also put a lovely little hotkey in for the volcano, so we can watch people chuck things in. Ooh, look at those Langer corpses. So, what are we doing now? We are saying capital H, F4, zoom here, name, volcano. Lovely. Excellent news. So F1, no, F1's not working. F2, F3, F4. Why are you no work F1? Now I have to go back down and find the compound and reset F1 as a hotkey. Curse you, hotkeys. F1, zoom. Oh, if you press C, it clears it. That makes sense. Okay. Main gate. Bosh, there we go. There we go. Oh, this is lovely, isn't it? They're taking forever to get the blooming stone. Oh, they're getting all the stone out, but they're leaving the wood. They're not dumping so much of it. And why are they carrying all the stone? Oh, they're carrying it to the ramp. That makes a lot of sense. It's going to take them a while to get the stuff down here, though, isn't it? It's going to be a long while. Ah, well, what can you do? What can you do? Is this a corpse stockpile? It's a refuse stockpile. Why are they not using the dump? Or is this stuff just not set to... It's not set to dump. So D. There we go. The Langur corpses straight in the volcano. No fucking around. We don't want them getting back up and attacking us. It's one thing to be attacked by swooping undead owls and eagles, but it's an entirely different thing to be attacked by something with thumbs. That's I would think of as a more harrowing experience. Indeed, it harkens back to my most memorable nightmare of all time. I've told this story before, but for those of you who are new and don't want to sift through my entire YouTube video catalogue, which if you feel like it, please do, I once had a nightmare in which I was holding a monkey, a non-determinate type of monkey. It's just a generic dream monkey, if you will. And I was holding it in my hands, attempting to hold its arms down, but because it was reaching constantly for my testicles and attempting to pop them by squeezing, which and it was so wriggly and impossible to hold. Every time I got one arm down, the other arm would pop out. It'd get its little fingertips like just grabbing at the hairs. I could feel the brushing, and I'd have to grab it. Oh, it was a nightmare, horrible nightmare. Don't really want to repeat it, but I think it's a nightmare of note. It's one worth passing on. Often when people talk about their dreams, you hear things and go, oh God, this is tedious, shut up. But that one, I mean, it's not tedious. It's short, it's sweet, it's to the point, and hopefully it doesn't say anything about my subconscious, because I would be disappointed if that was the case. I would be disappointed. Why am I so terrified of small simian creatures trying to pop my testicles? Well, I think that answers itself, doesn't it, actually? That question really answers itself. I mean, without the trying to pop my testicles part, it makes no sense. But as soon as you hear that, you think, yeah, it makes sense. I mean, they've got thumbs, very grippy, very grabby, very dexterous. Anyway, let's scroll back up. Let's scroll back up and see what's going on in chat, because Super Chaser's turned up. Hello, Super Chaser, welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Nuka Citrus says, so the mountain is named the Golden Tooth, and I just found a 12 by 11 native gold vein. Ooh, very nice. Oh, it's named the Single Teeth. Well, it's still good. Still good. I mean, you can colloquially, locally, idiomatically call it the Golden Tooth, couldn't you? It makes sense. Places can have names that are only used by the locals. I'm sure. There's probably a name for it. I don't need my testicles anymore. Well, I would like to keep them. I mean, one of their functions has been disabled for sure. One of their functions has been totally deactivated because they've been disarmed by surgery. But I think they still have a regulatory effect on testosterone and stuff like that. It's nice to have them, It's nice to keep them there. I don't want to end up being no Farinelli. Not that I'm young enough for that to happen anyway. No, it's never going to happen. I had the standard, my junk keeps falling off, no monkey involved. You see, Rando, I've never had a nightmare about my... I have very few genitalia-based nightmares. If anything's falling off in my dreams, and I think a lot of people have these dreams, you hear it as a classic, it's teeth. I have teeth fall out. Not hair, not testicles. Weird. Testicles falling out doesn't sound right. Teeth, hair, makes sense. Even fingernails to a degree, but testicles falling out, that implies an opening of the scrotum. Ooh. Oh, why have we wandered down this path? Curse me and my stupid monkey anecdote. Let's get back to the surface and try and cleanse ourselves with sunlight. Here we go. Are my lads clearing out the dumping zone? It doesn't look like it, does it? I'm not seeing it. Oh no, there's a lad. What's he up to? He's sleeping by the volcano lip. Zephon, I know I haven't placed any beds. I know I haven't made any bedrooms. And I know that's a problem for you guys. I understand. Honestly, I really do. But what the fuck made you think sleeping next to an unsecured edge of a volcano where people constantly come and go was safe? I mean, just the number of people walking past will probably wake you up. Go downstairs, sleep underground where dwarves are supposed to sleep, and for fuck's sake don't roll over in your sleep. Oh, what are you doing to me? You're my broker. I need you. Come on, think. Think, man. Think, dwarf. Sorry, I apologise. I misraced you. Miss Speciesed. Miss Species 2018 swimsuit edition. Can you imagine that? Miss Species, an interspecies beauty pageant. Oh, wow. Oh, wow. Imagine it. Imagine what would happen. I can't. It's too much. But you do it, and I think it'll be fun. If you've got more imagination than me, I'm sure you'll have a wild old time trying to imagine it. Miss Species. Ouch. Mr. Species even. Go for both. Why be sexist about it? Equal opportunities, equal denigration. What are we doing here? Diggy, diggy, diggy. I've got a space here I can put a nice... Oh, there's still one square in it that needs digging out. You... bastard. I think it makes sense to make that a furniture stockpile because we always run out of space in furniture stockpiles in here. And then here I'm going to make a few variety stockpiles, you know, the smaller kinds, the ones you don't really need. So furniture goes in here. There we go. That should start some stuff moving. And then in here I am going to put a stockpile for what? Well, we've been making spiked wooden balls, so it makes all the sense in the world to make a weapons bin. So we'll press P, of course, because P is in weapon. And I'm going to put it here. And do I take it all the way across and just make a band? Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that. So we've got a weapon bin. What else do I want? What else are we producing? We're not doing any finished goods really yet, but it might make sense to get those indoors. Bars and blocks. Well, they're actually technically indoors in the fort already, but they're a bit of a walk. Well, mind you, we need more space for bars and blocks, really. We have a ridiculous quantity of blocks of petrified wood. Most of your dreams and nightmares are gentle-based. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. He's got the dream balls. Maybe you've got like a sexy version of Freddy haunting you. Maybe that's what's happening. Bitch! Maybe that's what's going on. Maybe you've got Freddy coming through your mind, literally. Oh! Bitch! Oh, that doesn't work for me. That doesn't work for me. I've given myself a... I've got a phone call coming. Bear with me. I'm just going to have to pause the microphone. Mute microphone. Back in a sec. Hello? It is, yes. Ah, there we go. It was a job agent. So hopefully they'll come up with something interesting and I won't... Well, I mean, not for me, not for you. I mean, if I get a job, all these streams are going to sort of evaporate. Or disappear like tears in rain. Oh, lovely Blade Runner quote. Ah, somebody put Blade Runner in the chat. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. You don't need to know about my miserable work situation. Let's get back to Dwarf Fortress and look at the miserable work situation of the dwarves that I have essentially as my slaves. Isn't that lovely? What was I doing? I was building stockpiles. So there's a weapon stockpile. There we go. Blade Runner in chat. Lovely. Oh, and welcome back, Ocelot. I missed you there. Sorry. I better do a quick chat recap just in case. Rando, I caught the mic being on. I'm paranoid about it happening again. So I quickly turned it back off again. But thank you for the heads up. Much appreciated. Super Chaser's currently messing around with neural networks in TensorFlow. It's quite fun. I read and I watch videos about neural networks and I think I understand them, and then every time I come to do something, if it isn't optical character recognition or sorting of lists, I can't fucking figure anything out. My mind just goes poof and my ideas disappear. It's a real tragedy. I do love a bit of neural network stuff though. It's all interesting. Plutonium Jesus' dreams have all been murder and running around collecting firearms lately. He thinks he's been playing too much RimWorld. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness, poor old Plutonium Jesus. Hopefully those are not prophetic dreams and you are not about to be engaged in a military conflict. That would be sad. I would feel bad. Especially as I put it in your mind before it even happened and had you brooding and dwelling on it. That would be even sadder, wouldn't it? Oh dear. Nuka Citrus declares us all crazy. Could be right, although maybe take his opinion with a pinch of salt. I'm assuming his or her. I apologise. You just let me know and I'll do the right one. But I'm assuming a he for now, because that's usually a strong 75% likelihood of hitting the correct answer, at least in my stream. He may not be a qualified psychological professional. So, psychologist, psychiatrist, therapist. Just unless those, qualifications can be presented, do give a moment's thought and, think twice about the things he's saying on this regard. Let's carry on down here, go past the neural network bits. There it's off few. Not nearly as embarrassing as the people who accidentally stream something of an adult nature, like sexy adult, not like this is your manager calling adult, but still glad you didn't accidentally dox yourself or something. Yeah, not that, to be honest, I reckon if anybody wanted to, they could figure out where I fucking live, or at least within 5 to 10 miles. It's not that difficult. And honestly, as long as you don't turn up at my house or start sending fucking awful shit to me, I don't care. And just also, don't start saying things like, I know where you live. That will really upset me. That will worry me a lot, because as nice as you guys all seem in chat, I don't really know you. So it would be, I was going to say a little weird, but very, very weird if you turned up and sort of... If we meet coincidentally in the real world, which is unlikely because I barely ever go out, but if we do meet coincidentally, hooray, say hi and wave. I mean, the chances are probably, well, judging by the current viewer numbers, about 17 in 9 billion. Although I mainly stay in the UK, very rarely leave the UK. In fact, I very rarely leave the greater London area. I'm doxing myself. I'm doing it deliberately. Let's ignore it. Let's scroll down over the top. Ocelot has to leave in 20 minutes before he has to leave for his boy. Ah, dear Ocelot. I've spent the whole time just babbling like an idiot. I'm sorry, you didn't get to see any Dwarf Fortress. It's a tragedy, but sometimes the world works that way. As they say, that is the way the cookie crumbles. I'm pretty sure the only person who ever said that really was Cookie Monster, but... I turned up at your house and you didn't even notice me, peering at the window for 2 hours straight and you never even saw. Oh, rando. That is a long flight. I mean, if you've come from America, yes, it's going to seem a whole new level of creepy. It's going to magnify the creepiness by probably a factor of 10. But at that point, if you've travelled from America, you may as well fucking knock on the door. And as much as I'll be weirded out, I'll be like, well, that is kind of flattering. As long as you haven't come to kill me, of course. That's not flattering. That's very, very much the opposite of flattering, whatever that may be. That's insulting. Is it an insult? I mean, you may be wanting to kill me for some bizarre, twisted, psychologically deviant reason, like, because you believe that time will freeze at the point of our deaths and we'll be together forever in some kind of horrific suicide pact. But, really, if you're getting those kind of ideas, much as you might think it is a fantastic notion, I'm just going to say now, it's very, very unlikely. In fact, I would say 100% unlikely that I'm going to change my opinion of that whole scenario and go, actually, yeah, fucking stab me. That's not going to happen, okay? So just remember, no, No stabbings, no shootings. I know what you Americans are like. No shootings, and no beatings or kickings or poisonings or irradiatings or nerve gassings or don't kill me, please, or hurt me. Just be nice, for fuck's sake. I'm giving you free stuff on the internet. Well, technically it's not free for you, Rando, because you do keep giving me money, and thank you for that. Thank you very much. But I suppose technically you've paid. Then again, you've got what you paid for, I suppose, presumably, otherwise you wouldn't keep doing it. Anyway, buy my t-shirts. Anyway, that's not for you. Oh shit, not the microphone. Not for you, Rando. That's for anyone else. You don't have to buy a t-shirt. I think you've already got one. Anyway, enough of this nonsense. Let's look at the stockpiles that I was building. We got too tangentized, drawn away by the funny stuff in chat. Too far away. Oh no, Rando, that would be it. Imagine getting kidnapped. Imagine being kidnapped. You got a level 2 in diagnosis. Well, Nuka-Citrus, you work on it. Keep trying. Tell us our mental states again and again, and eventually you will have a laser-like focus on the truth. Anyway, where were we, Rando? Yes, I mean, that would be weird, wouldn't it? Getting kidnapped and being forced to play Dwarf Fortress locked in someone's basement. I mean, it's not the worst kidnapping scenario. I mean, there are worse, far worse things that kidnappers could want from you. It's disturbing, slightly creepy. I say slightly. It's very, very creepy. Any scenario that has escalated to the level of kidnap is very, very creepy. Very creepy. But, in the grand scheme of things, if we normalise the scale of creepiness over all possible creepings, then it's median creepy, right? Kidnapping? I mean, I think so. I think it sits somewhere in the middle of the spectrum of creepiness. At the very lowest level of creepiness, we have the non-intentional creepiness. Maybe someone just looks a bit off, smells a bit funny, that kind of thing. And then at the top we have the high-grade, pure, real creep stuff. Kidnapping. Well, no, kidnapping. I've just put kidnapping at the top of the list. Actually, I don't want to talk about the stuff that puts you right at the top of the creep list, because nobody wants to sit here listening to me dancing on the edge of a Twitch ban. I realise now that I'm heading off the edge of a cliff and potentially heading towards a ban, so let's just reel it in. I'm just going to hold my rod here. Not that rod. Fucking pervert. I'm going to grab the reel. It's that kind of rod. Fuck you. And I'm going to reel everything back a bit. I'm actually doing the hand motions. You can't see because I haven't got the webcam on, but I am. Trust me. Anyway, back to Dwarf Fortress. The next stockpile is going to be, we've got stone. We want a gem stockpile because it's always handy to get those squirreled away rather than leaving them out lying around, because inevitably something will come and steal them. Do we have anything else? Oh, we bought some cloth and leather, didn't we? So we'll let it dig out a bit more, and then we'll put cloth and leather stockpiles in there. Stockpile. There we go. I've run out of coffee, so I'll now transfer to the small glass of water that I poured myself before the stream. I notice I've been recording for 24 minutes, which means a second video in a row of absolutely fuck all Dwarf Fortress for the YouTubers, and a torrent of just inane bullshit coming from my mouth. I must apologise. Yes, I am out of booze, unfortunately, but well, not unfortunately. I don't really drink that much, to be fair. I mean, I used to drink a lot, but lately, maybe I have like a beer once every 2 or 3 months or so. Certainly haven't got drunk in a long time. Certainly haven't done that. But I get such bad hangovers now. I mean, I used to be an insane drink. Maybe that's why. Maybe I just knackered my body's ability to process the alcohol, and when I went through a little bit of a dry spell, my body just decided, nah, we can't do this anymore. And the liver's sitting there screaming, going, no, not another one, no! Possibly. You know where my dwarfs live? Oh my god. Well, of course, they live in Helmpold. Oh no, it's not Helmpold anymore. What's the fortress called now? I don't know, but we can put those cloth and leather stockpiles down now. So cloth is H. Yeah. There we go. Put a little... You can't do the placement with the right mouse button for the stockpiles. That's a pain in the poo. Right, over we go here. Should have done a shift click, but never mind. That was what? Cloth. Now put a leather stockpile in. Hell bent for leather. Oop, 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 boo. There we go. And that leaves a bit of dead space in the room, but I think we can live with that. We don't need anything else stored at the moment. Or do we? We don't have any coins. Food is going to be on a different floor. Maybe we just... Let's go down. Missus. Well, up indeed. Should we go up? You know what? On this floor... No, I'm going to put the food floor one floor above the industrial zone, and then above that we'll put the sleeping rooms. Yeah? Or should the sleeping rooms be deeper? We'll think about it. I'm so not interested in making bedrooms right now, so we will actually just designate some... What do we designate? Some eating areas, yeah. Let's do that. Okay, so... Oh, don't do that, scoundrel, you flipping dingus. Okay, here we go. So, the food area is going to be down here. I'm thinking we build a... Excuse me. We build a corridor this way. Look at that. All so far so vanilla. Oh, priority 1, of course. I forgot I'd set it to that. Just did it a second ago as well. What an idiot. Now, what we'll do is I'm going to cut out this area around there, and then the actual dining hall is going to be this one. Oh, shit. No, there we go. And we're going to make a fancy shaped dining hall. It's going to be all spectacular and that, but... Okay, we're going to make it go round at that end, and then we're going to put a few in... Oh, Figgins, careful. There we go, put a few in like this. Oh, by the way, if you're the guy watching my Alien Isolation videos on YouTube at the moment, and you happen to be in the live chat or anything, thanks. I've noticed a noticeable spike. Obviously, it's noticeable. I noticed it. I've noticed a spike in my viewing figures on YouTube. It's all very exciting. It's all very exciting. Clearly down to that video, or those videos. Clearly. Yep. And then we put a few of these little alcove bad boys in. Yeah, who doesn't love an alcove bad boy? What is an alcove bad boy? It sounds weird now. It sounds like something like a type of slang for a gay nightclub thing. I'm looking for alcove bad boys. Oh my, you Rudy. Excuse me. We're going to put the food and drink stockpiles opposite each other. So here goes a big food stockpile. Come on, there we go. And then we're going to have this area here as a drink stockpile. Now, on this side, over here, we're going to have a little room like this. Yeah, little room like this. I don't know why my voice had to go so wobbly there, but it did. Got a little room in here. I really don't want this all to be priority 1, do I? It makes no sense. They're just going to get confused and start digging out little bitty bits. I know it's a big enough room for a trading depot, but we're going to put the brewer in there, and in here we are going to put the kitchen. Yes. Put the kitchen in there. Good. One more for symmetry now. That is symmetry. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Could have done that with a glance, but decided to use the mouse cursor anyway. Hello, Rices009. Welcome back. Thanks for joining us. Feeling thirsty? Lack of concentration after wake up? On the brink of throwing a tantrum? Try some booze. Only booze offers the remedy of worldly afflictions. That's good, that's true. That's dwarvenly, at least. Personally, I would advise against following that advice as a human being, unless you're in an area where the water is undrinkable and you have some very light booze. Liquid bread, as they used to think of it. The design looks like something out of a microscopy corner. It does. To me, it's got a kind of a space station-y vibe. These look like massive solar panels. This looks like some kind of hab ring. Oh, has anyone played Space Station 13? I want somebody to figure out the secret sauce for making good Let's Plays with it. I really do, because the potential is huge. The potential is massive. It's almost Dwarf Fortress levels. But there you go. There you go. Oh, Plutonium Jesus. We're thinking on the same lines there. So this is going to be our kitchen. Off the back of that, we're going to have a butcher. A lovely... No, maybe not, actually. Maybe we put the butcher somewhere else. Where do we put the butcher? You know what? Maybe the butcher comes off the food stockpile. No, because we need to put a miasma baffle in to stop Butcher and Leatherworks from giving us grief. Not Leatherworks, Butchers and Tanners giving us the brief. The brief? Well, grief. Grief with a TH? Grief. G-R-I-E. Fuck's sake, scoundrel. Come on. Words. Here we go. So we come down here, make this little corridor, and then we widen the corridor a bit up here. Bish bash bosh. 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 This should act as a suitable miasma baffle for our miasma-inducing industries. I mean, we could make them surface industries and have it really not be a problem. because then all the miasma would just escape. Or we could open up vents, but I don't like surface vents. Surface vents seem to me like a terrible idea. Okay, so, oh, hello. Whoa, settle down, that's a bit big, isn't it? Ah, sorry, we like big things. We like big rooms for small industries. Okay, we put tanning in there, and then 2 in, donk, and then 2 more, donk. That should be symmetrical. Run across there. How many does it go over the edge? 2. Lovely. Bump, 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 bump. Boop. There we go. That doesn't look symmetrical. It's not fucking symmetrical. There we go, that's symmetrical. Lovely. So we'll put our tanner in there, we'll put our butcher in here. The butcher can have... Actually, no, if I put a little tunnel going straight to the food stockpile, that's just going to have miasma go through it, isn't it? Foolish scoundrel. We're going to put a few extra doors in between here and there, just to make sure that the miasma is adequately baffled here and then really sealed in with doors. That'll be nice. What do we put on this side? Is there anything we can put on this side for a maintenance of symmetry, or did we just bust symmetry in the nuts and say, fuck you? I am not interested in your symmetrical nonsense anymore. Mathematical concepts such as symmetry have no meaning for me. I live in a non-Euclidean space. Can a non-Euclidean object have symmetry? It must be able to, right? Just because it, you know, has a sort of like self-crossover aspects and weird dimensions doesn't mean it can't be symmetrical, right? I mean, a hypercube is symmetrical, isn't it? Is it? Yeah, you can have symmetry in much higher dimensions than just the normal 3, right? Yeah, maybe time is symmetrical. That would be interesting, wouldn't it? That would mean everything goes forwards and then backwards and then forwards and then backwards. Infinitely. Enough of this nonsense. Pondering on high-level mathematics is not going to get me anywhere because I just don't fucking understand it. We've got food, drink, kitchen, brewery, that makes sense. Maybe next to the brewery we put the farmer's workshop? Ah, yes, I know what to do. No, I've got an idea. We're going to keep a little bit of symmetry, but not full symmetry because that's unnecessary here. But we are going to bring this out to here. How far does it go? Just 1 beyond? 1 step beyond. Do, do, do. Do, 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 do. Sorry, a little bit of madness overtook me there. And over here, we're going to have a nice big animal stockpile room with a farmer's room just in front of it. So here's our farmer's chamber. I'm a man from a farmer's chamber. I'm not. I don't think I've ever been in a farmer's chamber, whatever that might be. Could be the chamber of his shotgun. Could be the chamber in his house with a pot. Someone help me, please. I appear to be losing my mind. Right, okay, so that's got doors, farmer's workshop, and then out here we will put an absolutely delightful 3-door animal stockpile, which of course will contain not just the stuff we eat, but the stuff we capture as well. Stop it. This is not nice. Oh, I've done it again. We'll wipe those bits off the edge when we're done. Oh, overshooting all the time. This is no good. People won't believe me to be absolutely excellent at Dwarf Fortress if I'm act like this. Not that anybody who's ever watched more than 5 minutes of my streams thinks that I'm excellent at any game. I am in fact amongst my peers, those I play with face to face, legendarily bad. Oh, but there you go. Just goes to show you don't need to be good at games to make a half decent stream, do you? Do you? Even though my viewing figures appear to have plummeted. Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay, let's have a little look. Hypersymmetry, yeah. Yes, you can. Okay, there's some consensus in chat about the possibility of non-Euclidean objects to have symmetry. It's good. Time is symmetrical, and we are experiencing the backwards path. As Arnold Rimmer and Crichton said, everything makes better sense in reverse. World War II, Nazis retreated across Europe, bringing millions of people to life. That does make much more sense. If only it had happened that way. If only. But then again, yeah, it seems so much better backwards. Anyway, hello Nunchaku Chaku, welcome back to the stream. Thanks for joining us. It's a pleasure to have you here again. By the way, YouTubers, sorry for all this rambly ranting and stuff that's basically resulting in nothing happening in the fortress other than me drawing a weird space station. But it's the end of the stream again. I keep saying stream. It's the end of the recording again. I'll see you in the next one, okay? Bye. Well, not necessarily. I'm presuming a lot there, but hopefully, please. Bye-bye.